Peace to you. I hope this finds you well. I was going for an effect here, and I just noticed a bit of blue sky in the window, which is lovely. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Our faiths, Christianity, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, our faiths are united by what we call the Abrahamic faith. Yes? Okay. The Abrahamic faith. However, according to the scriptures, Abraham didn't write anything down, is my understanding. According to the scriptures, it was Moses, yes, who was given the Torah. It was Moses who the Lord reached out to, yes? Okay. So the first thing that the Lord God Almighty tells Moses to do, he says to go to Pharaoh, for he has surely something about the bounds, gone beyond the bounds or beyond the limits, or, okay. So that's where the story really begins, Moses, yes? I know the stories and truths about Abraham and the rest of the prophets and everything, that's part of it. I understand that. But where Moses, the one who put the writings together, allegedly, or if we want to believe in something, believe in that for the sake of discussion. It starts with pointing Moses as a prophet and a messenger of the Lord God Almighty to a person who has declared himself to be God. That is going beyond the bounds. Okay? Okay. So that's where it starts. The fact that, I don't know, a couple thousand years or 1,000 years, how I don't know how you would even figure that out. Jesus comes along. Jesus has the same message as all the other prophets. But Jesus has been given has been blessed in so many ways as to do healings, and it's just, he is the walking message of God. Yes, Jesus is. But what happens? Well, what happens is that man makes Jesus a God. Well, we have to, again, go back to the first thing that the Lord directs Moses to do is to go to Pharaoh. Why is he going to Pharaoh? Because Pharaoh is declaring that he is God. Now, we can and do, and I attest to, as God is my witness, Jesus never said he was God. I said that man made him into a God. So you've taken that Christianity, the idea of Trinity has taken us and brought us all the way back to the time of Pharaoh. That had to be corrected, right? It had to be corrected. The Quran was sent down. Yes? So we, humanity, now have the Quran. We have the truth. Yes? And within the Quran, it says that it is sufficient, that it is complete, and that it will be protected. If you read the Quran and you don't adhere to those things, then what foundation do you have? It is sufficient, it is complete, and it is protected. Yes? Okay. So we have the message. What about the messenger? Here's where, and I'm not casting stones, I'm just asking you to take a good look. Any focus that you take from the message and move it to the messenger, you are putting a God before Allah. You are, if you're turning to, see, I was just on with Gnostic Muslim, and I enjoy listening to him, but we got to the point where I realized what our differences were. are, I believe that the Quran is sufficient. I believe that it is complete. And I believe that it is protected. I believe those things about the Quran. He does not. And he was talking about stories about the prophet that and I could hear in his voice, he was genuine. He wanted to know. He was interested. What was the prophet like? What did he do? At one point, he shared with me, according to his wife, the prophet would disappear for days. Well, that's all well and good, I guess, and I don't mean any disrespect, but that has nothing to do with my salvation. That's my point. It has nothing to do with my salvation. I don't even know who his wife was. I do know that in the Quran it says that you must be especially respectful to his wives and that you must not marry his wife. But that I understood to be part of the recitation that was specific to a specific time and place and people. So, but other than that, I don't need to know about it. So, my brother, I don't know what his real name is. He's got such interesting stories about, or insights. He talks of Gnosticism. I'm familiar. I followed Jesus for over 40 years. I'm familiar with, and not as a Trinitarian. So I too had to find knowledge elsewhere. But being led to the Quran is, for me, it was divine revelation. And I personally don't like being called a Quranist. My way is Islam. Allah has guided me to this book that says that it is sufficient, it is complete, and it is and will be forever protected. I'd appreciate it if you didn't label me. Or if you have to label me, man of God. Mog. Peace.